of the technical difficulties.
Alright, so all I gotta do when I want to mute his ass.
But
Right-click,
I do
mute, and
agree
that's it.
that
Huh.
an intro will be needed here soon.
Sure. We're
Yeah.
we're almost on the double digits now, man.
But I don't want to give. We are in the double digits, but I don't want to give too much away because, you're going to get into that here as part of the show.
Okay, yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
let's do this. All right, I'm hitting the record in 3, 2, 1, record.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Two Host, One Mini Table. I am your host, The Babe, and with me always is the other host of the evening, the hostess with the mostest, the Ecto J.
Hello,
What
Ecto
up,
J
dude?
in the place to be, host of Don't Feed the Animals podcast. Yes, you've heard it. That is something I'm a part of.
What? Yeah, that is something he is a part of. And
Yeah.
I see you have a lovely drink in your hand this evening. What are you enjoying this
Celebration, bitches.
evening? Celebration, bitches. What are you enjoying this evening there, Ecto J?
Just a little Maker's Mark.
Well, makers. Okay, respectable.
I got myself a nice cylindrical ice cube that is breaking up quite nicely into this drink.
Breaking up quite nicely indeed. I am sipping on some bubbly this evening.
Okay.
I had some couple one too many margaritas yesterday for Cinco, so laying a little easy. And as you can see here, my handlebar is coming in quite nicely here. You're like,
Nice, buddy.
I've got my quarantine beard going on here.
Corn beard.
Quarantine beard. So, it's been a while. It has been a while since we last recorded.
I mean, almost 2 weeks.
Almost 2 weeks. So I apologize to you, sir, for not being around, and I also apologize to the viewers out there. I see that there's been a couple of additions to the channel in my absence, so man, I don't even know. Ellipso Bell 1972, thanks for the follow. Nana Terry 1971, thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. Sorry I have been absent. So Ecto J, I apologize to you for not being here last week, and then again to all the viewers out there.
It's okay, man.
Quarantine got to me a little bit last week because I work from home now. I'm blessed and I'm grateful, so I'm not even going to get into complaining about that, right?
Yeah.
So I got a job, I'm paying the bills, and I'm working from home, but I work right here in this office, which traditionally I go to the office and I work, and then I come home and I'm here streaming in front of you guys, hanging out, kicking it, using this as my release from a long day. But last week it kind of got to me because I was spending virtually all day in this room. I'd wake up in the morning, come in here, do my normal job, hang out in the living room for a couple of hours, and then I was coming back in here and streaming and on that grind. And I couldn't. I had to take a break. I'd take some PTO. That's what I was doing, taking a mental break, PTO. I haven't even been on Animal Crossing in like 3 or 4 days, so I jumped in there today for the first time. But I will tell you what I have done there. I did finish the final season of Silicon Valley. If you ever checked out Silicon Valley, great show.
Wow.
Have you ever seen it?
I've seen bits and pieces. I have my nerd IT friends that love that show. So, yeah, I've seen a couple episodes. It's funny. I like it.
It's phenomenal. It's Mike Judd, right? Beavis and Butthead, King of the Hill. You know.
Yep.
So the final season, I finished that over the week, and it was good. It ended how it needed to. I was quite pleased with that. And that's pretty much it. Went and hung out with a couple of buddies yesterday. That was cool to get out of the house.
Nice.
They've been working from home too, and social distancing. So,
Yeah.
but what you been up to, man? You had a pretty eventful week last week. Lay it on us.
Yes. Well, I feel like a proper intro needs to be bestowed upon the viewers, considering that some of the people that are going to be listening to this is going to be listening to this in podcast form on Don't Feed the Animals. So if you are new to this channel or this podcast or this, however you are watching this on YouTube, um, there's a chance that if you're listening to it on Don't Feed the Animals, this is my side project. This is there's a reason why it's called Two Hosts, because actually at some point I am a host of something, and that is my podcast, Don't Feed the Animals, which is back since my birthday. On my birthday, I had the opportunity to record with Berto and the original OG of Don't Feed the Animals podcast, and we had ourselves a good old time just chilling, talking, shooting shit, doing the things that we do best.
Also,
And
a founding member of the We Like It Nerdy podcast as well.
that is correct. He is like, like the filling of
Happy belated, by
We
the
Like
way.
It Nerdy and Don't Feed the Animals. He's like he's that. He's the goo in the squeezy center, the juice, if you will.
The sweet, savory juice, if you will.
Sweet savory. He's like when you dip into like an apple empanada.
Like a fine wine.
And you bite into it and it just bursts into your mouth.
You just pop that cork out of the bottle and you let the tannins
Oh,
come
yeah.
out.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
we squeeze that juice.
Yeah, that's right.
Freshly squeezed.
Mhm.
But yes. So so if you're listening to this, it's just going to be a different format. It's just because it's a different show. It's a show that's on Twitch, which means that if you are listening to this after the fact, there is a means to talk to us live through the chat.
That's right.
And
You
it's
come
exciting.
see our beautiful faces.
I will try to make it a point. I did tonight to post on my social medias, which I'm trying to get much better at, a ways to basically let you guys know when we're at, where we're at, and why we're doing it. So,
Right. Which,
on
like,
another note, it was my birthday.
happy
I had a
belated.
quarantine birthday. My roommates, which is Berto and his lovely wife Cassandra, they made me a delicious yellow cake with a chocolate cake in the middle and chocolate icing all around. Birthday cake, which is my favorite.
Delish.
I appreciate that. And we had some delicious Giordano's pizza. If
Okay.
anybody doesn't know what that is Chicago style deep dish pizza with black olives, and it was glorious. It was so good. I mean,
Chi-Town style, huh?
hey man, I mean, people are gonna have their debates and arguments on that type of pizza,
Sure.
because they're gonna be like, it's not pizza, blah blah blah. I mean, it's delicious. Who cares? You know what I mean? Like, is a hot dog a sandwich? Like, it's that type of shit. Like, who gives a fuck? It's a hot dog. It's delicious. Put a little sauerkraut, a little bit of relish, a little bit of mustard. Who could complain? Dirty water. You're good.
Dirty, salty mop water.
Yeah. And,
That's where it's
can you
at.
complain? Same
No.
thing with the deep dish. You got nothing but a thick ass layer of cheese with the sauce on top. I had black olives. It was a really good birthday. For what
Good.
it was worth, everything was fantastic.
Good.
Thing that happened right after my birthday, which I like to get into, I sent you a video. Previous episodes on Two Host One Mini Table, I introduced to you a artist, somebody who I found through this quarantine. A man goes by the name of Mark Riviere. By the way, shout out to everybody who is now listening to me because of him. Thank you all for the support. Thank you all for the follows. Thank you all for the comments on my YouTube page, the comments on my Podbean. Thank you so much. I did not expect the actual people would actually reach out, but that was great. I have a video queued up. He does a stream on YouTube every Sunday, which if you ain't got nothing to do, it was 2 o'clock Eastern. Actually, this stream was 1 o'clock Eastern on a Sunday. It's usually like a Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, depending on where you're at. Go watch his stream. It's nothing but feel good shit. And do what I did, which is phone in, because he leaves a phone number. I got lucky. I was on hold for 45 minutes. Couldn't believe I can get in. And if you want, I say let's show that video. So I don't know if you want me to count it off.
Count it off, brother.
You got it queued up?
Got it queued up.
Alrighty, man. All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, nice, beautiful blue robe.
It's beautiful, man.
There's something different today if you're just tuning in. I want you to bring the heat, bring the energy as usual, but I'm not asking for you to shout a topic out to me. I'm not interested in that today. I don't want your topic, your thing that you thought of and that you know. I don't want that.
He doesn't want any of that.
Conversation with you. And from that conversation, I'll find a topic in there. So just talk to me, shoot the shit with me, enjoy the conversation, and we'll figure out a topic from there. I hope you're doing very well. I hope
I'm gonna be
you're
honest.
good, looking good, and acting.
This is the part like where his music stopped on the phone. Wait, and it clicked, and then I heard
Hello,
this.
You are on the air.
Shut the front door.
I will not shut
Oh.
the front door. I refuse to.
Get out of here. What's up, Senor Mark?
Hey, how are you doing, my friend? Where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from beautiful Orlando, Florida.
Ooh, Florida, baby. How's the weather over there right now? Is it hot and sticky?
It's dry. It's sunny out. I haven't really left my house, so.
Oh, you haven't left that in 2 months? You haven't left your house in 2 months?
That is our one and only Ecto J, ladies and
this little
gentlemen.
quarantine has me shook, but you know. I step out from time to time, get a little vitamin D.
I hear you, man. I feel like it's got everybody a little bit shook. You know what I mean? How have you been taking it? You been taking it okay?
Monthly therapy sessions help from time to time, but you know, I'm surviving it.
Just
Hell yeah.
pour it out, man.
Do you find monthly therapy sessions to be productive and help you along? Is that a good thing for you?
Mental health is something that people shouldn't feel ashamed of, in my opinion. But you know, that's just me. A lot of people get a little nervous to reach out to, you know, the professionals. But I think it's a good thing.
I agree. I absolutely agree. It's
He agrees,
sometimes
man.
you
Look at
just
you.
need someone
I
to,
was starstruck.
to listen to what you have
I was
to say
nervous.
and interpret
Doctor filling it up
in
with
a
him.
way that maybe people around you can't usually, or you know, you need that outside professional opinion sometimes to guide you through. It can help.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's when you talk about it, it's crazy how immediately you start feeling better.
Yes.
You know, because a lot of the stuff is, yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, I it gets me through. You know, at that, and then you keep your hobbies. You know, you keep your mind going. You just do what you got to do. You know.
What are your hobbies, man? What do you like doing for fun?
Podcasting.
So,
Video games.
Not too long ago, I started my own podcast.
Hey.
So basically, I go up. It's literally about nothing. I just sit
Nothing
in my
but heart.
room,
That's
put the
right.
microphone on, and just talk. You know, just talk shit about anything. You know,
Yeah.
talk. You know, sometimes I'm lucky. I get some random guests over. Usually,
What
like
makes
it
the show?
started with me just inviting like coworkers over and like, hey, what do you do?
Yeah.
Have them come over and just shoot the shit. So.
That's nice.
Fun.
That sounds fun, dude.
Yeah. It's also use it as a form of therapy.
Yes, I am exactly the same way with this. This is therapy. This is therapy.
Heck yeah, man.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know what I'm telling you? Maybe that's.
Yeah.
Here we go. I like that. Therapy.
Because what he does is that he's going to now make a song based off
Nice.
of what we just talked about.
Let's see it.
Whatever
I love
kind of
it.
therapy
It's
can
good.
be
It's
anything,
he.
but
He
as
takes a
long-
while to get
as
into it,
long
but
as it's
you know,
helping
we'll
you
listen
sort
to like
shit
maybe
out
like
somehow.
a couple minutes
Hell
of it.
yeah.
I'm thinking about
Oh, yeah.
splicing this
That's great.
into
You
my
should.
Well,
podcast.
listen, dude, I'm
You
glad
should.
you're keeping yourself busy, and I'm
The
glad you're
song
finding
that he
ways
made.
to pass the time and make
Maybe
yourself feel good.
use it as
That's
part
what's
of the
important.
intro.
Yeah, man. I'm glad I got to talk to you, and I've seen all the stuff that you've been doing. Actually, I first got introduced to you through this quarantine, and I was just like, yo, I got to talk to this guy.
I can't believe I got to talk to him.
Oh,
It's
man.
amazing. It's amazing.
Oh, thank you
First time
so
I've ever
much,
called
dude.
into something.
It's been kind of a ride
Nice.
for me, just in terms of ups and downs. But thank you for sticking there through with me and watching me, and you know, hopefully I can continue
Love
just
it.
creating. It's what we have to do. Just keep creating.
That's right.
Very
If you
inspiring.
don't
That's
mind, I'd
right.
like to shout out my podcast if that's cool with you.
Shout it out, baby.
Shout
Shout
out.
out.
Hey, man. For those who are listening to this, I'm happy to be on. Just listen to Don't Feed the Animals podcast. I'm on. I just shoot the shit, and it's just a normal person talking.
You know what was wild? That's all the information to give.
You heard
And the
the
chat
name.
was
Check
like,
it out.
where?
Dude, thank you so
And
much for calling in, man. And
Thanks, Mark.
Very
See you at a show
shortly,
sometime.
all of a sudden,
Oh,
people
for sure.
started to
Absolutely. I love it.
all right, my friend, take it easy.
Peace.
Peace.
people started to
Nice.
actually
What a
put the
nice
links.
dude.
Like they
You guys are
like
cool.
the
You
internet's
guys are cool
smart.
today. I like it.
Yeah.
Especially the chat. They want to fucking figure it out. They figure it out.
Oh, yeah.
Alabama, Montgomery.
So I don't know if you want to listen to maybe the next couple minutes
Yeah,
of him fucking around with it.
yeah. Let's get a minute. Let's
Because
get
he
a.
actually makes the song out of it.
We'll go for about another minute or two, right?
Yeah. He gets into it.
Don't worry,
Unless
that
you
was a
want to,
threat.
I'll tell
Hey, man,
you.
thanks so much.
I would say click. We could do 3, 2, 1, and maybe click into the next. Click into.
Hey, dude, I really appreciate
We'll
Thanks for
skip
helping
it.
me out.
Do not
I'm just trying to find a good
Worry
spot to skip
about
it
it.
to.
Try to. s-
That's nice.
Try to sync up the. How about skip in ticket? Can you get it to 49.56 or 49 around that ballpark?
49.
And I'll tell you 3, 2, 1 to do it.
54.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
Boom. Just got him on the
Because-
keyboard there.
Yeah, well, because he was building up into this part, and then he really like just gets into like he made the beat based off of like just therapy and thinking about, and he just kept on saying talk it out, talk it out, talk it out, and then he's just like, this is the song that I could come up with, and he just makes the song on the fly, and it's based off of our conversation, which is I think is a very talented, beautiful thing, and I will always cherish this beat.
So there you go. MarkRiblet.com.
Mark Ribier.
Ribier.
And
My mistake.
catch him on YouTube. Send him some love. He is just announced a tour, surprisingly. I think he's going to be doing drive-in theaters to keep the social distancing,
Nice.
which is awesome. But yeah, man, this is it. You know, this is it.
All right.
But anyway, I digress.
Right on,
Or-
right on. Well, I
Yep,
mean,
yep, yep, yep.
that's what the show's about, man. What do you mean you digress?
Oh yeah.
So that's pretty bomb, man. It's pretty bomb to get a shout
Yeah,
out like
man.
that, or get to
Put-
meet your internet hero, so to speak.
Yeah, no, and again, I just we've been through this quarantine, and I fell upon that guy, and so I'm like, you know, when you like find somebody new, and you're like, oh, I fucking kind of like this shit. Like,
Oh,
this is
dude,
my
I have
jam.
been finding a bunch of them. Shout out to, I just found what is his name? K-Bits or something like that. There's this dude who scammers. It's great. It's awesome. I enjoy
Oh yes.
that.
Which one? Which one? Which is this on YouTube or Twitch?
It's on YouTube. Oh no, he does it on Twitch too. He does it on Twitch too.
Which scammer that scams? Is it the one that fucking hacks into their the CCTVs, or
No.
is it the other one who does what's his name?
He does voices. Kit Boga.
Kip. Oh yeah, Kip Boga.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was doing.
He's huge. Yeah.
I was watching his Billy Mays ones. Those are pretty good.
He's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so cool, man. I mean, so that alone really, and just to go off of like everything that he was like saying, it really, like it's what we have to do right now with all the time. And I said a lot of this in my podcast that I did with Berto. Just basically like now is the more than the time than ever to just be creative and really go out there and take advantage of doing all that you can do and really expanding your ideas and your just the things that make your mind go. Because
the world is on the internet right now. Like when you don't have anything else to do, you're inside your house. People are discovering new things, sharing common interests, and blogging about it. And it's like you're saying, it's an awesome thing. So if you're finding it hard to cope or really find something to do anything. Like paint, draw, read, record it, put it on the internet, and I guarantee you will find people that would be interested in talking about it.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's just awesome, and it just makes me want to do more, just creatively, and just have fun, just have fun, make the best of it. It's I know it's cliche, but things are going to be, we're starting to open up, so fingers crossed for how that goes.
Yeah.
But if either way, we know we can get ourselves this far and do what we have to do. So we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
In other news.
So moving on to other news. You got us an update. So we talked about this a couple of podcasts ago, actually, right? Mortal Kombat 11.
Yes, I think we talked about the Spawn trailer when he came out.
We did. Mm-hmm.
So
and then we
Spawn
watched the
came
Joker
out.
trailer and stuff.
And then the Joker trailer. Oh yeah, the yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, MK11's not done. MK11 is continuing with their storyline DLC.
Okay.
So, I don't know. Have you played MK11 at all or seen any of that
Walk me through it.
storyline? Basically, at the end of spoiler alert for a fighting game, I guess I don't know how you guys feel about that, but spoiler alert. At the end of the storyline of Mortal Kombat 11, Liu Kang becomes an Elder God, and I think Raiden becomes immortal, and it has a lot to do with time, and so time lines were all fucked up and crossed, and Liu Kang ends up destroying Kronika, who is like the time god, and basically he gets to rewrite history, and that's how it ends. So that ends, but then boom, we get into this trailer right here. You have it queued up.
I have it queued up.
It starts right at the ending. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Our work is finished, Liu Kang.
Lord Raiden,
It falls upon you to architect a new history.
A new
then
history.
together,
Mm-hmm.
let us begin.
All right.
Cease, Liu Kang, before you doom us all.
Shang Tsung?
By the way, that's Shang Tsung from the movies.
Kronika, you destroyed her crown.
Nice.
You come to start history
Yo, so it's mine.
past to steal the crown.
They got
from
Fujin up in this
before
bitch.
the hourglass.
I don't remember Fujin from
Why are we
MK4,
listening to this snake?
the Wind God.
Because I am a snake who's toiled beside Kronika, learning her secrets. I know them.
That's awesome.
It's so cool.
That is so awesome.
So then they got boom. You got Fujin as a new playable character, which is awesome. The god of wind. Looking raw with his fucking weapons.
Jesus.
Boom. And then
Shiva.
you got Shiva. Yep, she's
She's
back.
back.
Shao Kahn. Or Shokan, or whatever the however you want to say it. She looks awesome.
But whose help? Welcome back, Your Highness.
Oh, they're putting
Freaking
name?
Shiva.
How long before you betray us?
I find your lack of faith.
No, I can't remember her name.
Oh, they got stage fatalities.
She can aid us against Rhoda.
They didn't have stage fatalities before. Sindel, by the way.
Sindel.
Become far too
That's it.
dangerous. And I doubt his new allies realize quite how dangerous he is.
No one can predict what happens next. Not even me.
10-10, need backup now.
Come on.
It's so good. Not over yet.
Friendship.
And they're bringing back Shredder Sub-Zero.
Nice.
So yeah, man.
Right
That's
on.
where we're at.
That's where we're at. So
So what you think of that?
interesting. It's been forever, dude, since I played Mortal Kombat.
Yeah?
But I've followed it through media, I guess, through IGN podcasts, videos, articles, reviews, stuff like that.
I mean, storylines are great.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's always had a good storytelling and for a fighting game. Because fighting games, I mean, what fighting games have a coherent storyline?
Right.
I don't know what happens in Street Fighter.
It'll be definitely it's gonna be one of those I'm gonna have to find myself going down a rabbit hole of videos of the history and timeline of Mortal Kombat. But I think it's super awesome that
it's like a movie.
That Shang Tsung's in it.
When you play the storyline, it's so you could just basically watch that YouTube, just the story, and it'll just show the story gameplay, just minus the fights, and it's 2-hour long movie. It's great.
So let me ask you this, since we're on the topic of this, and talking about story in video games in general. We look at what we just looked at, Mortal Kombat 11, right? The aftermath trailer, and we saw it for what it was and how it has its story. And then we got to go back and think about the Sub-Zero stories. Remember that, Mortal Kombat.
You're talking about. Why are you talking about that?
Why am I talking about it? As horrible as that game was.
You know what that was, though, right? You know what they were trying to do.
Yeah, they were trying to do.
They also did one with Jax.
Did they do one with Jax too? I didn't.
It was called Special Forces.
Yes.
So basically, what it was is that they wanted to do spin-off games, telling stories of different characters, and the problem is that how video games are back in the day is that you send it off to one company or another company, or they're ambitious or lack of ambition or just sight of what they want, and it just ends up being shit when you really don't know what you're doing. You're just relying on your IP to kind of
carry it,
drag you along. Yeah. So yeah.
But you look at how the story is being told in this game right now, and you got to think to yourself, were those other games before their time? Do you think they could take the concept? Do you think they could take the concept of a Jax story or a Sub-Zero story and then do it in a style very similar to how this Aftermath is, and it be successful?
No, because
Well, what happens
because
if
when
you use them for like little DLC add-ons, like $9.99 stories mode?
So no, to watch a story is fine. That's, I mean, they just had, I didn't get to see it. The Mortal Kombat movie, the animated movie. I didn't get to see it. I really want to see it. They do that. I mean, they could do it in different mediums. In a game, no, I don't think it's a good idea to do it in a game.
Yeah.
Because you have to be. What are you trying to do at that point? Like, what kind of game are you trying to make?
Sure. And you think
So
you
if you're
could
just trying to
possibly
expand a story and lore, comics is fine. Video games is probably the best. But I mean, as far as it's got to be in this game, yeah, expanding story lore. We're in the time and age where it's not that crazy or hard to do, and they are doing it in their own way. Like, I mean, they're gonna have another movie, so we'll see how that goes. I don't know. You know.
Yeah, I heard
Hopefully
about
that comes
the
out.
movie, right? We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see.
But yeah, cool. I'm definitely interested. It just makes you think, right? Like, I mean, there's a lot that they can do with the IP. Clearly, Mortal Kombat is not going anywhere anytime soon. It hasn't
Hell
in a
no.
long time. So we'll see.
Yeah.
And isn't that like the status quo for video games now? Is to kind of branch off into different formats and varieties, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's usually never. I'm trying to think of an instance where it's been done well,
Overwatch.
where you branch off and, like, if you have a fighting game and then like then have a side-scrolling beat 'em up, I guess. Yeah.
No. Okay, I see what you're saying. No, I'm just saying like something that's been successful in all mediums.
Oh, well, Mortal Kombat's been successful at some point in time in all mediums. You know, the movie for the most part was, in my opinion, one of the first good video game movies.
Sure.
Their animated movie that just came out, probably now, maybe not the ones before that, but still, like, I mean, what are we measuring success though? Because are we measuring overall, or like, I don't know. Really depends on what you're looking for as successful. Successful doing it and not going bankrupt. I don't know. I mean, what are we looking at here?
Question in the chat was: did we see the MK webisodes from a few years back, maybe 10 years back?
Mortal Kombat Legacy.
Oh, there. Well, what I think. Oh yeah. There was like a.
Yeah.
Didn't they have seasons of that where there were like 10 episodes?
They had
a
multiple
season?
ones. They had the first run. I'm going off of memory. I have no
Yeah.
research in front of me. This is just letting you know, on two hosts, one mini table. Sometimes you have one too many glasses of whiskey and you just don't feel like looking up what you're talking about.
That's fine.
So,
That's fine. We'll
I'm going
ad
off
lib
of
it.
my
We'll
memory.
ad lib. That's right.
So from my memory, my nerd knowledge, I remember
Adjust
that
those
they
glasses.
had a first run of MK Legacy, or it may have not have been called Legacy at the time. Video came out. It had Michael Jai White as Jackson
Jax.
Briggs.
Yeah, and he was a cop.
I don't remember. He was a cop, and
he
then
was-
they had. I feel like the lady who was Sonya Blade was the chick from Star Trek. Could be wrong. Could be totally wrong. I don't know why I thought that. Another thing is,
Go to your
they had
mind
a lot of-
palace.
Go
to your mind palace.
I don't. Yeah, I'm not getting locked up in there anymore. So maybe I don't know. But either way, what it was is that they had like Baraka was like a deranged doctor who decided to like inject blades into his arms, and Reptile was really a guy who survived the Harley Quinn disease, where his skin's inside out and he eats people as a cannibal. Like they were trying to go like the realistic route,
Yeah.
and that was like a weird take. And then they were fighting, and then it was like, it was kind of cool, but then you're like, And then they had the first run of Mortal Kombat Legacy, where it kind of like was like, well, we can do that again, but we can actually get a little like fancy with it. So they had a lot of other videos which I don't quite remember those videos, but I remember they showed the feud between Sub-Zero and Scorpion. Another weird one was like, I think either Raiden lost his powers or something, and he gets locked up like in a, like they find him and they put him like in an insane asylum because he's like, I'm the Thunder God, and they're like, yeah, right. And then somehow at the end he gets his powers back. They had a really cool Sector and Cyrax one.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Where they both the robots came on at the same time, were
Yeah,
activated.
yeah. It's just really, really cool. But yeah, that was good from my memory. And season 2, I don't think I've seen anything of that.
Yeah, I heard they came out with the season 2. Never watched. Didn't even really watch too much of the Legacy, but I heard, yeah, they essentially had gotten a budget and they were actually doing legit stuff.
I feel like it did good enough. That's why they're making the movies now.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like that's why the success of those web series, probably what brought on.
And I think with the success that some of these recent video game movies have had, I mean, now is the perfect time. I think directors, I think the our generation essentially has started to grow up and get it, and start to go into film and have played these games, and they're like, I'm gonna start to direct these films based off of the games that I used to play and fucking do them justice. Because I mean, these last couple of video game movies that have come out have pretty been on point, have been good, and I can't help but think that it's because the directors and the producers of these movies have played these games or had some sort of a relationship with these IPs in the past.
Yeah. I think the best way to put it, in my opinion, is interpretation.
Sure.
Of it all. And that's really what you can and cannot get away with in a in just anything that comes from a different form of medium. It's you want to tell it to where it's not a carbon copy of the story, but you also want to bring it to a way where you're intrigued to actually see it to begin with. A lot of also people go for that route of, can I bring people in that have never seen something like this before and get new views? So it's really like so many factors into play, and it's really you performing an ultimate balancing act of pleasing old fans, pleasing new fans, and showing something that you're still going to look at it and be like, this is the thing that I remember. So it's hard. It's just hard in general. And then you have money, you have studios, and you have everybody's hands involved, what the fans want, what the producers want, what's going to make toys, what's going to do, all these little factors that come into play, and really you can't really get the thing that you want. Yeah, and I'll be honest with you too, like the fans will be very hardcore on like what they believe would be the best thing, and I'll tell you, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's really not. Like it's the fans will say like the most outlandish things, and just as a general storyline in a whole, I'll just sit there and go, yeah, that's not gonna look good. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not gonna. I don't agree with you guys. So it's not just straight up listening to the fans is probably the make or break it, because it's about interpretation. Sometimes it's not gonna be the best thing. It's why, because you can also fix things that didn't quite work out in the original. Sometimes things happen. Look at Final Fantasy VII Remake, still not done with that, but that's their opportunity to go about it a different way, I mean, granted, it's a video game based off a video game, but it's kind of like making a movie. They could have made a movie out of it, But
so you mentioned the juggling act of like being a fan and pleasing the fans. Do you think that early exposure of the IP, whatever that is that you're working on, whether it be Final Fantasy or whether it be Mortal Kombat movie or whatever, previously experiencing it before growing up and remembering some of the things that stood out to you as a fan, bringing that into your interpretation, so to speak, into your vision, into movies, do you think that helps with a greater audience to kind of relate to that story that you're trying to portray? And help with that balancing act?
Yes, only in this sense. I see, this is the question. It also depends. It depends on what your mind frame is at the time. So you think Sonic, right? Sonic is, I haven't seen it, but I've heard that it was good.
It was good.
But do you feel like sometimes you think of like the birth of something, right? Happens, and how long does it have to be around before you can kind of fuck with it, I guess? Because you have to think of all the Sonic fans out there.
Sure.
The Sonic fans out there are our age and are like our mid-30s. So you kind of have to think that they had enough time to sit on it and really, really fucking think about what they can do to come out with something that makes sense. I kind of always think of that into play. So like as the fans age, so yet to your point, yes, I think being a fan, but also think about all the stuff that kind of came out early on, and then they had stuff about it early on. Those people I don't feel were fans. I mean, like us, like the growing up with it type feel. You know what I mean? Like the Street Fighter movie. Street Fighter came out like 95, I'm guessing.
Raul Julia.
And then you had the movie not so much later after that. I mean, what, like 4 or 5? You know what I mean? Like where Sonic came out, you know, and then, like I said, we have a movie now. So there's enough time for for us to grow on that. So I'm thinking that's like, that could be a factor. I could be totally wrong. There's probably Mario, the movie, like, again, Mario came out. I know it came out in the 80s. We had a movie in the 90s, but I'm like, that's only like 10 years. So let's just say I was someone who played Mario. Like, you know what I mean? Like the people who made those movies, I'm like, you do wonder, maybe that's why those movies suck, because you also think, did they fuck with those games? You know?
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly my point.
So maybe you're onto something, because that could be the thing, but that might be the reason why. You know, not just because of the growth of the fandom. I think it's just the growth of the person, the growth of of getting good at telling stories and being like, well, now that I'm an adult and I'm better at telling stories, and I grew up with this thing, I knew what made this thing. Because that's the thing, things come out, we don't know why we like it. You know, we just do. You know, that's just how it is sometimes. When you're young, there's things that come out and you're like, well, why? You know, to this day, I have people that are a little bit younger than me that try to fucking convince me that Spy Kids is a good movie, and I'm like, yo, bro, that's not my cup of tea. I'm like, that shit's fucking whack. You know, they're like, Spy Kids, and I'm just like, did you watch Spy Kids? Like, did you see it? But they grew up with it, so they're gonna get it. You know, I don't get it. I was old enough to be like, this shit's whack. You know, but again, you know, that could be the same for us.
Tell us how you
to me,
really
I can look
feel
back and be like,
about Spy
Sonic
Kids.
storyline wise is whack. Like,
Yeah.
There's nothing about Sonic that I was like, but that one time when he made out that woman in Sonic 06,
hell yeah,
it's beautiful. It's magical. I want to see that on screen. Did that happen in the movie?
It could have.
Sonic make out with a real person?
It really could have. It really could have. It didn't,
Missed
though.
opportunities.
Missed opportunities.
Damn. Fuck.
Right?
But I think that's what it is. I think, to your point, absolutely. That's a factor.
So you go, all you young aspiring directors and producers and whatnot, go out there and try to create something to go back on.
First.
Get good.
Get good at story. Get good at storytelling and telling a good cohesive storyline, and then get back to your passion project of your fandom.
There you go.
Because then you'll know you could tell it with. I think that's why
you'll do it justice.
Yeah, for sure. You know, you'll know what you need to do.
All right.
I mean, it's obvious that like Marvel movies are great because they're fans of Marvel. I mean, in my opinion.
Yep.
So.
I mean, they give us that like iconic scene that we all want to see in each one of those movies.
It's
you
true.
know they have to do that slow pan of like that badass like flight scene or missile launch or repulsor blast or them all
Tony
standing
and Cap.
around. Yep.
Tony
Where he's shooting on the shield.
Pulsar blast the shield in slow motion. I'm like, Civil War cover.
You gotta have
Going
it.
to cinema.
You gotta have those moments.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
The slight subtle pause of Spidey with the Cap shield as he lands on top of whatever the
Perfect.
luggage. You have to.
Perfect.
That's the superhero landing. Anyways, but yeah, no, get out there, practice, and then make some good stuff. Moving on with video game news. Another one that I'm kind of interested that's gaining a lot of attention, of course, the Assassin's Creed trailer was released for Valhalla, so we're going Nordic on this. And it's actually, of course, as most Assassin's Creeds do, was sparking up some controversy on how the Anglo-Saxons have been portrayed. But it's a video game. It's a badass looking video game. Get over it. And if you don't like it, don't play it. It's not for you.
I've never played. No, that's not true. I played a little bit of the first one, and a little bit of the second one, and a little bit of the pirate one.
The last
That's
one
it.
I've played was Brotherhood. That is how far. I have a lot of my buddies that will probably be screaming at the screen or even to the speakers right now, like, I've been trying to get you to play them forever. They were just recently all on sale for the Humble Bundle, so I gotta definitely make an effort to go through and stream, each one of these. But this one, there seemed to like going on to different mythologies and.
What was the last one? Greek?
Yeah, I think the last one was Greek. Odyssey? So,
Yeah. Well, we'll play this trailer. I'll tell you from my point of view.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why I wasn't intrigued by those games. It's just after a while, it just you're throwing out all those same game. Like, how long has it been? I mean, I feel like it's a lot of shit that came out for it, and I feel like there's no way that this is good or not recycled. And
Okay.
It cheapens it. But anyway, I want to see what this is, because it's been a little bit, right? It's been like
It's been a while. A couple of years.
4 years maybe?
Oh, I have no
Since
idea.
Odyssey came out? I don't
Oh.
know.
I don't think it's been that long.
4?
But-
You don't think it's 4 when Odyssey came out?
I don't know. Get your go-go smartphone out.
I'll look it up when we play it, so just cue me up.
All right, you ready?
Yes, sir.
3, 2, 1, and play. 18 and older.
Heartless.
Let's take this mini table image off. There we go.
What?
Godless barbarians.
The graphics look really flipping good, man.
I mean, if it's just cinema graphics, I mean, it doesn't mean anything.
Still
I
good
mean, that's
cinema
just me.
graphics.
No, yeah, we're at that point
Yeah.
where they look
They
fantastic.
scar the lands of England. Lands they will never defend. Never love. The time has come to speak
was so
to
wrong.
them
It
in a
came out fucking
language
2 years
they
ago.
will
Yeah.
understand.
Oh god, this is my point.
I feel like I'm watching an episode of Vikings here.
Yeah. Oh, that's graphic. Wow.
This is a perfect game for the holiday season to get your little one.
Oh yeah, limbs flying everywhere. And... Oh. I'm just waiting to see something Assassin's Creed looking.
Right?
Other than title.
I think that's what everybody was thinking.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, is that it? Okay, there we go. Someone in a hood. There you go. Enzio.
Odin is with us!
Odin is who you play. Odin the Assassin.
Odin the Assassin. Yes, makes sense. Oh, that's my knee? No, that's...
Nah, we're good.
You know, just stab
Hey.
in the knee. I've played enough Skyrim to know you can't take that.
Like how everyone around them's just kind of watching.
Oh, is that it? Is that how we know? Oh, because he has a blade like that?
That's it.
But it's not in the... Isn't it usually in
That's how we
the
know.
wrist? I guess it's...
Well, that is
that's
still
it?
still a wrist braid. Valhalla. There it is. Mm-hmm. Thoughts? You don't seem impressed.
No, because I didn't see shit. Listen, man, you know what we're going to see. We're going to get a glitched game, like you always do. It's been 2 years since the last game. It's the same shit. You're going to see some funky-ass glitches. People who like the Assassin's Creed, more power to you. I mean, I'm not trying to shit on your fandom or your franchise or your game. I get it. I get it when you're all in. But for me, the reason why I never fell into it is just because even the games that I do like, I can't play too much of the same type of game without getting bored of like missions where I feel like I'm doing the same type of chores where I'm like, this is kind of boring.
From what I've heard from some buddies of mine that actually play the game, is the Animus is gone. They've moved away from the glitching, and now these are just pictations of different storylines within the Assassin's Creed universe, if I'm not mistaken. And they've kind of changed and broken the mold, I think, with Odyssey or whichever one came before it. Like, they went to a completely different open world kind of gameplay style.
You know why they did that?
Why do they do that?
Because it would be too hard to make it all make sense.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
and case and point for me at the end of the day. You know what I mean? You give up on the one thing that made your game kind of unique and interesting, which was making it like, what was it? Like going back in time, I guess, and it was like hacking into like a Matrix type shit. Like, I don't know.
Sure.
I know, yeah. It's like, oh, you never, James, but you never gave it a chance, Jay. You never gave it a chance.
You
How
never
are you gonna
gave
go shit on this shit?
You never gave it a chance, man.
I'm like, I didn't have to. I didn't have to give it a chance. Listen, I'm not saying they're shit games. They're not shit. Not by any means. They put money into it. Looks beautiful. That intro is beautiful. But again, it's because it's just so subpar, I guess. Listen, a couple months from now, I'm gonna be talking shit about how much I can't wait to play fucking Last of Us. But to be fair, The Last of Us 2, Last of Us 1 was not 2 years ago. That's for damn sure. Just saying, they put time and effort. I'm gonna watch a story that I'm gonna be like, this is interesting.
Are you gonna watch a story, or are you gonna have to find every little piece in order to get the full story? And if you
because those games, it's a good game. It's a good game, and you don't have to worry about shit like that.
That's
what I'm saying.
I played The Last of Us, and I played The Last of Us, and meh.
when did you play The Last of Us? I'll be fair with you. I'll be mad fucking fair with you. I played The Last of Us, like the remastered, like 2 years ago.
The Last of Us was fun.
The original was at PS3.
Yes.
So we're playing it again. I'm like, dated. I'm like the game itself, the gameplay, the way it looks and everything, and like is even the remaster, the remaster, and like it's dated. It's a dated looking game, but still, I mean, I remember my first initial reaction when I played it, storyline wise, and I'm just like, oh, this is good. This is really good.
I enjoyed The Last of Us, but it wasn't. A lot of people. To your point about the Assassin's Creed thing, I think a lot of people put a lot of regard into it. But I am not a gamer that I don't like that I have to feel forced to go to get every little individual, like the piece of trash. If you didn't collect that piece of paper that was on the ground by the trash can and read like the cursive with the little blood spot on there, you're gonna miss different aspects of the story. Like I don't like to have to collect items. They had cinematics in The Last of Us.
Those weren't the best parts of the game. Those were just, that's fluff. That's like Resident Evil for me, where you read the little note of the guy, his last words, and you're like, oh, it makes it a little more in depth, and let's makes that. I hear you. That only made the gameplay parts more fun. Was reading those messages. But if you take all that, because I skip all that on my second, third, fourth run playing that game throughout the years that it's been out, I've skipped all those. I don't need to read that shit. I remember what it said. But if you just stick to like the storyline, it's still fucking solid. In my opinion, it's still a fucking solid game. I hear what you're saying. I feel like in Assassin's Creed, those fucking like what I like to say chore missions. That's what's fucking annoying after a while. Like you have to fucking collect eagle feathers in different parts of the map, and I'm like, yeah, that's fun. Love running around. I mean, all games do it. I get it. All games do it. Batman does it. I thought Batman was great.
Spider-Man did it with the
Spider-Man did it, but
with fetch quests.
It had enough though, and enough of something to make me interested, and it has been enough time. And that's another thing. It's been enough time since I played a game like that I can do that again. You know what I mean? Every 2 years to be into a franchise that every 2 years they're gonna come out with a motherfucking game and do the same shit over and over again. I'm sorry, I'm done after like the second time. Like the second time, I'm like that. I'm not doing it all over again, but this time it's fucking, instead of feathers, it's fucking wall boogers. I don't fucking know. I don't know anymore. But I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've played me a good game where I've had to collect me some wall boogers, man.
Yo, if you ever play that game that's AAA right there. That's AAA content. That's game of the year.
Is there a feature when I collect these wall boogers, like in the opening screen or something, where I can click on gallery and see the different type of wall boogers that I've collected?
Yeah, it's kind of like unknowns in Pokemon.
Oh, perfect! Great comparison. Wall boogers to Pokemon.
It's wall booger. It's got a certain shape. It looks like a letter of the alphabet.
Gotcha. Great. So, with that being said, moving on from video games, and the last piece of news, we got our first trailer. I know I mentioned it last week. I'm excited for it. Space Force. Craig Daniels, Steve Carell, Lisa Kudrow, John Malkovich. There's a lot of people in there. You were not too excited because you haven't watched a lot of The Office or The Parks, correct?
And not because I'm not. Unlike Assassin's Creed, where I'm like, oh fuck it, it's just one of those things where
you missed it.
I just haven't gotten. I missed it. I missed The Office phase. I missed all those shows. I'm gonna see this trailer and I'll give you my honest opinion. You know, like I'm open. I'm open.
He's open to it, folks. He's open to it.
Yeah, I'm absolutely open to this shit.
All right, so I got the next Netflix trailer up here, and
Okay.
if you're ready,
Okay.
we'll
Yeah,
play
count
it
me
in
up.
3, 2, and 1.
I want to welcome our newest four-star general, Mark Naird, formerly number 2 at the Air Force.
Thank you. It has always been my dream
All
to
the good
command
ones,
service
though.
branch.
Yeah.
Our nation's internet runs
Jane Lynch.
through our vulnerable space satellites. POTUS wants complete space dominance. To that end, the president is creating a new branch, Space Force, which Mark will run.
What? This is a great adventure we are embarking on today. There will be setbacks, but greatness was never won without sacrifice.
Oh, he is blowing it just like you
Tom
thought.
Malkovich.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a complete shit show. Oh, my dry cleaner. Yeah, they lost my dress wipes.
Space should be a zone of wonder, not of conflict and
As a
death.
scientist, you have a loyalty to reason. Makes you a little untrustworthy.
How much was that prototype?
4 million?
Middle schools. Cost as much as 4 new middle schools.
Fuck!
Running?
No, keep up.
Your attitude seems to be, give us money and don't look while we militarize space.
You are running.
Keep up. Hey, Mom, what are you doing?
Got suspended. Gave a teacher the finger.
His blood pressure is spiking.
Brad, no interruptions for 5 minutes.
Aruba, Jamaica. Ooh, I wanna take you. Bermuda, Bahama, pretty mama.
Bodies in the sand. Tropical drinks melting in your hand. We'll be falling in love to the rhythm of a steel drum band. Down goes Jamaica. Ooh, I wanna take you to Bermuda, Bahama. Come on, pretty mama. Key Largo, Montego, baby, Montego. 50 years ago, our country put a man on the moon. Well, guess what, kids? We're going back. That's where we wanna go. We gotta go.
Okay.
May 29th on the Netflix. Couple of weeks away.
So.
So,
Yeah. I mean,
got some heavy hitters in it, man.
yeah, no, I'm gonna give it a watch. You know, it looked interesting. I'm gonna give it a watch just because of all the talent that's in there.
Yes.
What happened?
It's definitely excited for that. So it was good to finally get a trailer to kind of see where direction they're going in, and it seems like just your standard sitcom. So it's not any like interview style, whatever, what have you. So I'm pretty excited about that. So I'm of course I can't wait. So
Yeah.
And
We shall see.
yeah, we shall see indeed. And with that, that pretty much brings us to the end of the show for the evening, my good sir.
Wow. That went by.
Quick. So, now, as always, tell the folks where they can find you, what you got going on.
Shit. Look, for everybody. You can definitely find me on my. Hold on, I'm. Been a while. I'm bringing up all my information on all of the next.
It's okay, your listeners will wait.
Next show we'll probably put it up on underneath my name. We'll have it up on there. But yeah, Podbean. Hold on. Stop. Give me a second. Okay.
He's got it, folks.
Well, you can find me here Wednesday. That's for sure. You can also email me at dftapodcast@gmail.com. You can YouTube Don't Feed the Animals. Got me on Instagram. I also go on Facebook at Don't Feed the Animals Podcast. And then finally, the website dftajv.podbean.com for all of the logs of Don't Feed the Animals Podcast and newest edition of the 2-host One Mini Table show.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
How awesome is that?
Yes.
And folks, you'll find me right here at the babe_WLIN at twitch.tv. You'll also find the rerun of this show on YouTube at the babe_WLIN for the previous recordings. You can catch me on Instagram at the Nerdy Rojas. And that pretty much wraps it up for the evening. Folks, thanks for stopping by. Ecto J, close us out for us, please.
Oh, if you guys didn't already know, there's always room at the mini table.
Plenty of room at the mini table. Thanks for stopping by. Y'all have yourselves a good night.
Hell
Stay
yeah.
safe. Wash your hands. Peace.
Bye.